question everything,
trust nothing.
It's your boys, Keeper and Crusader, and it is a beautiful Wednesday here in Ohio. And actually, it is. It's like 72 degrees. We've been talking about these wild weather swings. You know what? It could be climate change. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, there was definitely some climate change where you're at. Let me tell you, I 100% believe that.
Yes, it definitely could be climate change in the form of trains. We'll just say that. So, Crypto Fam, if you are not already engaged with our community, get involved. We like to have a lot of fun. We like to do personal interactions. Hit us up on Twitter. Follow us on both of our Twitter channels. We like to have our Twitter spaces. Have some fun over there. Do things a little bit different on the Twitters. If you guys are interested, make sure to follow us there. And then, as always, smash the likes over here. Follow us on TikTok, and then make sure to get engaged. I'm going to turn this thing off. Make sure to get engaged in the Discord. We have
a lot of things going on, dude.
Yeah.
We're doing the Beans, Bullets, and Bourbon NFT mint, right? Somebody's gonna be winning a vest every 100 mints. We're doing Twitter Spaces. We're gonna be doing a lot of different things. We're actually, I don't know if you were paying attention, but we're actually gonna be on the OG Apes Mega Space this Sunday. So everybody stay tuned for that.
Yes,
that is gonna be happening here pretty soon. So if you didn't know, now you know, Keeper.
Hey, Bill Noble in the house, the one and only, says hit the like button for Keeper and Crusader. Hey, hit that like button for Bill Noble, and actually just go over there and subscribe because he is a legend in the space.
100%.
Make sure to give him a subscribe. All right, Crypto Fam, let's get into it. So first of all, today we've got a number of topics on the podium. Okay, when we get into topics like, I don't know, the IMF, we're going to get into topics about a decentralized Twitter option, huh? Maybe a little action from Coinbase and the SEC. They may or may not be having those dinner parties we've been talking about. Mastercard and Visa are saying to crypto, and Polygon rolling out a digital ID. These are all some really interesting things happening in the crypto space, and we're going to dive into it. You're going to get it here with Debate Crypto. Let's check out the markets first. Let's see what's cracking over there. See if we can maybe make some sense of up, down, sideways, left, right, wherever these markets are headed. We want to see it. We're at 1.08 trillion with the T dollars. That's up 1.09% over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin, 23,424, up almost a percent. ETH doing the same thing, 1638, up 0.86. Rolling through the top 10. Don't even need to spout through all of them. No big moves in the top 10. I actually liked what we did yesterday. Let's change
the 24-hour gain.
Yeah. I'm trying to. No, this is not what I wanted.
Just gotta click it again. There you go. Those are the gainers.
So these are the big gainers. We had Maker up almost 5%. Conflux, no idea. You know what Conflux is? I have no idea what that is. I know what Filecoin is, and I know what stacks are. So these are kind of the these are the big gainers over the last day. We'll start bringing these up more often, just kind of show you some other alts that are
the big losers of the day.
The big losers of the day.
Hit that 24
We've got, I like seeing this. Floki is down. But look at these. These aren't big. Listen, this one right here, Nemzem, or whatever this is, down 3.7%. That's the big loser. But they're up like 21, almost 22% on the week. So, of course, it's got to cool off at some point. Just like Immutable X. We talked about Immutable X yesterday. They were at the top yesterday, or maybe second, down almost 2%, but they're still up almost 8%.
Just goes to show you it's not as bad as people like to think it is in the market right now. I actually got a little bit of TA here for you guys.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's show this here real quick. So as you guys can see here, right, with Lux, real quick, on the daily, we got the trend catcher going bearish, not looking too good. We fell out of this regression trend that we're moving upward in. We're hitting this resistance at 23,800. We can't seem to break it. We've tried testing it once, twice now. I'm saying I think if we don't break above this 23,000, we could be heading back down to 21,000. But this is on the daily. If we jump down, wait quickly before I jump back out to the 4. the MACD is going down, but it looks like it might be cooling off. Right, you can see the color here changing. That means that it's starting to pivot back upwards. Doesn't mean that it will. It could keep going lower, but it might be cooling off. Maybe it'll come back up. On the 4-hour though, you can definitely see, right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 tests at this resistance line of 23,000. The EQ cloud and the trend catcher are bearish for Lux Algo. Like I'm telling you guys, I think we're going to be range bound between 21,000 and 23 until one of these two breaks. But, MACD on the 4 hours, not looking terrible. It just crossed to the bearish side. We had a small moment of being bearish, small moment of being bullish. It's being very undecisive right now what is going on. Yeah. So just be very careful. The markets are going sideways.
Yeah, and Lux Algo, if you guys are interested in checking that out, they've got a great setup in terms of giving you like some simplified ways to get into trading.
Of content.
Yeah, it's a lot. So you can go as deep into it or as shallow as you want, but the reality is they have some simple ideas that can help you on the front end of getting involved in trading. So we've got a link down below if you guys are interested in getting involved in some more trading and having an easier, way to kind of get and take in some of this information, because it's a lot.
Quick
John Connor said,
go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry. John Connor said shadow banned. Well, John, I hope not. Maybe you didn't get the alert. We've been having that issue a little bit recently, so make sure that you guys are paying attention. 3 o'clock Monday through Friday. What were you going to say?
Hit that notification bell. Hit that notification bell. I was going to say, we got a comment here from Sean, right?
I knew it.
I want to get your opinion, bro. I want to get an opinion on your favorite coin right now. What do you feel? How do you feel about this strong utility in CBDCs according to like your new faith leader, the CEO of Ripple?
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. The faith leader, Ominous Dominus. Let's get it. The Ripple CEO.
If it's not a cult, if you can't admit that XRP is a cult, so the cult needs a leader, right? Who's it going to be?
Well, I mean, it's Ben Armstrong. We've talked about this. You know what I mean? BitBoy knows he's the leader.
He's the general of the army. This guy's the cult leader.
Well, you know what? I did not see this, but I trust that Sean isn't just feeding us something into the chat, so I'm going to hope that he's not. First of all, let me just tell you, this is Debate Crypto, so let's be fair. It is the strongest use case, period. It is. It doesn't mean it's a good thing, but it is the strongest use case. So the fact that he said it, not a lie. It's just straightforward, factual information. Boom, it's right there. Now, do I like it? Every person on here knows I don't like the idea of CBDCs. I don't like the idea of you having programmable money. I heard some different ways that we hadn't talked about recently that CBDCs could be used in up to and including, I never even thought about this, to restrict travel. You said, well, how would you do that? Well, it only allows you to spend. They can program it to only allow you to spend within a certain number of miles of your home. Oh, you want to fly somewhere? No. Your money specifically is not going to allow you to buy an airline ticket. Like, they really could, if wanted to, restrict your.
Just you wait till they start hitting you with your carbon limits. You've admitted too much carbon already. You're being cut off right now, dude. Yeah. It is wild. CBDCs are definitely something that it can. If you guys haven't seen Black Mirror, I urge you guys to go watch it so you know where this is headed, because that is where we're going. And programmable money could have been a beautiful thing, right? With Bitcoin, right, aka programmable money, but with the way CBDCs and centralization, and we've had some meetings with some people, and they're talking about, with regulation coming, we're going to see decentralization go from this big to this big. Decentralization is going to be shrinking. Things are going to become more centralized. So be very careful, guys.
And we are going to be talking about some more decentralization and some ideas behind possibly something to do with Twitter and a decentralized option. So we'll get into that here in a few minutes. I just want to jump into the chat real quick. I always like to say hi. Let me scroll up here. We got Mr. Evan Chick in the house. New World. Thank you for being here as always. Bill Noble, like I said, make sure to subscribe. Crypto Cats. Who else we got in the house? We have got Burke3, unforgettable name. Great guy. John Connor in the house. And the Biomex. Love you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Magic Internet Money. If you guys aren't following him, I don't know what to tell you. You should be subscribed over there, learning how to do the TA game. And we are going to be doing quite soon. We'll get this information out to you. We've been kind of teasing it a little bit, but we are going to be doing a seminar soon. It's going to be limited seats. You're going to have direct interaction opportunity. interaction with myself and or Crusader and Magic Internet Money. So make sure you stick around. We will give you that information. And then I Stack Crypto Loic. Glad that you're here. All right, cool. Let's get into it. I think the Loic is supposed to be how that how that's pronounced, but could totally be wrong. We'll see. All right, so let me see which article I pulled up first here. Make sure to smash the likes. Make sure to smash the likes. Let's have some fun today. It's a Wednesday. Sometimes Wednesdays, try to lull people to sleep. It's hump day, middle of the week. Let's have some fun. Let's get into it. All right, so let's talk about the IMF first. So the IMF, whoopsie, wrong screen.
We
got
him. We got him. His Chat GPT notes.
They caught my Chat GPT notes. Oh my god.
Is Keeper an AI? Is Keeper just a robot this whole time? He just goes away for upgrades. That's why he goes away for such long periods of time.
That's right. I'm literally getting digital upgrades up into my brain. IMF to prefer regulating crypto than banning it outright, says report. So boom, there's a little bit from the little picture, little article action of the IMF. This is interesting. Okay, so the International Monetary Fund prefers to regulate crypto assets instead of banning them outright. That's what they're saying. But the option to ban remains on the table. The IMF managing director, Kristalina Georgieva, probably butchering that last name, but that's what it looks like, stated that regulating the world of digital money is a top priority. The first objective is, though, to differentiate between, you're going to hear a common theme here, central bank digital currencies and publicly issued crypto assets and stable coins. They're saying fully backed stable coins are seen as creating a good space for the economy, but non-backed crypto assets are viewed as speculative, high risk, and not money. So let's start there. Okay. Why does the IMF have the ability to tell me what's speculative with my money? I'm able to toss money into any sort of startup. I'm able to put money in, get my money. I'm able to toss my neighbor some money to work on his freaking business selling crack if I want to, right? You can do whatever you want to do with your own money. Why do they need to be involved?
Well, you can do whatever you want with your own money until you start making money. Because once you start making money, they're like, wait a minute. Pay up.
Time to pay the
big boy. Pay up, big boy. Right? And the IMF, the problem is, right, the IMF was very angry when El Salvador came out and started adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. They know that it's only a matter of time before more countries come out and start doing the same. There's been a lot of talks in Africa. There's been talks in Panama, Argentina, other countries in South and Central America. And it's happening. It's conversations being had by governments that are outside of the control of the IMF and big world leaders. And they know that, right? We know China banned crypto. What did that do? Nothing, right? People can still use Bitcoin there, even though it's banned. And they know that by just ignoring it and banning it, it's not going to go away. So the only way to get ahead of it is by making sure that they put regulation that benefits them, right? Like right now in the United States, a lot of retail investors can't get involved in a lot of projects unless they're accredited investors, right? Yet internationally, anyone can get involved, right? Because it's your money, you do whatever you want. So this is where we're headed with the IMF as well. They don't want to lose complete control of all the other countries and what they're doing. So they're going to start putting regulation that is going to benefit them. That's going to make sure that they're getting paid, they're getting a piece of the slice of the cake, and that whatever technologies they push forward, right, by becoming crypto friendly and start getting involved, they can take control of what cryptos they want to succeed and what cryptos they don't want to succeed. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and the interesting part, it actually said in here that the option for crypto assets to be just totally banned, like to a full ban on crypto, that was still on the table. But here's the details that they gave. And this is kind of broad, but I want to touch on this. They said that action might be taken if they begin to pose a greater risk to financial stability. Let me ask a quick question.
Financial stability.
So hold on a second. The financial stability is coming from where? They're like, where is our financial stability right now? Is it in rising interest rates? Is it in the ability to just print money with no regard for how much we're increasing inflation? Is the stability in the fact that we have $50 trillion worth of worldwide debt? Is the stability in the fact that we are funding wars all over the world? Where is the stability that we're talking about here? Like, where is it? How are they going to even say that? Hi,
The
Boogie.
stability is simple, right? We're the world reserve currency. Every other country depends on us. We inflate and deflate the currency as we wish, and whatever effects that has on other economies, that's their problem. So they have full control of the US dollar and what is happening worldwide with it. But the minute we start introducing these other cryptocurrencies and some stable coins along, right? That's why the SEC has been coming after stable coins lately as well.
Yeah.
They begin to lose power. They begin to lose that control of other countries. The other countries could just start adopting stable coins that are literally not ran by the US government. And they just can still be pegged to their dollar equivalent. They can start adopting Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies as their reserve currency. Once again, freeing them from under the boot of the world reserve currency of the US dollar. And that is something that they are afraid of. And that is where the instability begins, when these countries start saying, hey, there are other options that don't require US dollars, and we don't have to be under the control of the US government. Boom, that is instability. They need some freedom.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, and I've got to get to this super chat real quick. We got €2 coming from my boy John Connor. Says, love the show. Crusader DM'd me to buy XRP secretly for him. So you heard it here first. Crusader is secretly funneling money through John Connor. It was a good plan until you realized how much John loves him some XRP. So, John,
right. You guys got me. I'm not the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm the Wolf of XRP.
That's right. You're kind of like Jamie Dimon. You tell everybody how horrible this asset is, and in the background, you're the biggest freaking person buying it. That's what he was doing.
That's right. I'm scooping up all that XRP I scare out of your guys' bags right now, guys.
Yep. Mr. Evanchik is definitely correct. He said, "I knew it. Closet XRP army. Yep. Closet. Closet.
God, you guys killing me. Sin City in the house. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brothers? Dude, I just want to say thank you again while you guys are on here. The intro is fire. We definitely appreciate it as we've told you before. We love you for that. Appreciate it.
John Connor says, I want a vest.
Question.
How much?
Good question.
Real simple. Mint some BBBs, right? What are those? Beans, Bullets, and Bourbon NFTs. That's here. Right. There's a link right here. It takes you directly to our website. Mint some of them. We are 49 mints away from the first vest giveaway. So make sure you get involved. We're going to be giving away about 13 or so vests in total for every 100 that are left. So make sure you get involved, guys. Get some Beans, Bullets, and Bourbon. Fill up your bug out bag. That event is happening here in the next couple of months. Mm-hmm. And these Beans, Bullets, and Bourbon are definitely going to help you with more than just getting a vest. Let me tell you.
Yeah, and as of right now, we're not just outright selling the vests. If this tells you, we genuinely want to be able to give away this 5 Ethereum as part of what we're doing with our NFT project, and we want just some certain people. It's like it'd be like a special, really cool thing to be able to win one of these, right? So it's something we have talked about, but for right now, as of right now, that's not on the table. It is just going to be as a part of what we're doing with the NFT space. So check this out. So this is interesting. This is fun. And I really am excited to talk about this. Decentralized Twitter spinoff, Blue Sky, now on App Store in beta. It says the federated spinoff Blue Sky, backed by the Twitter founder, is now in the App Store. But users need invite to try the beta. Okay. So check this out. So Blue Sky, it's a decentralized alternative to Twitter. So Twitter, obviously, love Elon Musk, hate Elon Musk, think he's a hypocrite, think he's not, whatever the case may be. Twitter is a centralized platform. By centralized or decentralized, I'm going to guess that everybody on here knows what that means, but there is a central entity, a central unit, a central governing body that is handling anything and everything that's going through Twitter. Well, now there is this Blue Sky that's available on the App Store. So users can download the app, but you have to have an invitation code to be able to make an account. So I'm interested because we don't have all the information here. Where are these invitation codes coming from, right? So the project was incubated within Twitter and then spun off back in 2019. Jack Dorsey, who was the former CEO of Twitter, was on the board when the Blue Sky Incorporated, which is what I think they're actually titled as a public LLC back in 2021. So it's basically really similar to Twitter. It's got the home, search, notification tabs, and then the users can repost other people's content. So let's talk about this.
Is Jack Dorsey still involved with that project?
I don't see that. I would have to go farther. Let me see if I can Twitter Blue Sky. I'm just trying to see if I see anything off the rip that says that he's still in there. I didn't see that.
I know he's been working on some stuff with Bitcoin and trying to create like social medias and getting involved in the cryptocurrency game for a long time. So I didn't know if he was still involved with this specific application, and maybe he's incorporating Bitcoins one way or another into it. But maybe not. Maybe he's not involved. We don't know.
Well, I don't know, and I actually did breeze through that real quick again just to check, and I didn't see it. But I think it's interesting. Like, can a truly decentralized app, something like Twitter, can it really work? We've talked about this before. Decentralization can be a beautiful thing. It can also be a buzzword. I'm curious. Like, do you think that it could truly work? Because there's a lot that goes in the background that needs to make sure that the tech is correct and that the tech could be fine.
I mean? Yeah, okay. I think the tech could exist, right? The decentralized technology. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem are the people, right? The users. Most people that are on social media platforms are in it because they're following somebody important, and the important people, the big people, are there to get attention from users. Right. Okay. And the problem is with these decentralized applications is they never get enough people onboarded. Right. They never get enough people onto their application. Right. Because this is a competitor to Twitter. It's the only difference is decentralized. So everybody on Twitter is like, why am I going to leave Twitter? Why am I going to leave my 50,000 followers here to go grow a following over there? And then the people that are following big people are like, well, that person that I follow, that Joe Rogan, that BitBoy, that whatever that I follow isn't on that other application. So I'm not going to go over there. There's nobody over there worth following for me. And I think that's been the biggest problem. And the on top of that is they just spin it with, Twitter, but decentralized. How about you just make a better social media platform that can be inspired by Twitter, right? Like TikTok was inspired by Instagram, right? Short videos that people saw on Instagram, but now they were made into this infinite loop on TikTok. TikTok changed it, right? They grabbed a simple concept from something that already existed, simplified it, and made it better. So that's what they need to do and stop using the same thing of, it's a decentralized Twitter. Cool story, bro, but nobody's going to use it, right? Well, look what's happening with Rumble. A lot of people jump on Rumble. Some people need to be on Rumble because they have to. But realistically, most average users that just consume content are not on Rumble because there's not enough traffic there, because there's no difference. It's just the censorship sales point of it, which is important, but it doesn't drive enough people. The average person doesn't care about privacy. We've talked about this on here a bunch of times, and it's not enough of a factor for them to move from one platform to another.
Yeah. And I agree with that sentiment completely. Sorry, I was playing around with moving some of the options on the. I know you're over here, I'm down here, I'm over here. And then it was like, take it out, debate crypto. So two things. One, first of all, off topic, but Scott the investor in the house. Good to see you, Scott. And Chemo and Crypto, haven't seen you for a little while. We are glad that you're able to make a live stream. I pulled up your chat here. It says, Ayo, finally catching a live at the new time. So each and every person in here, smash that like. Make sure you are already subscribed. Make sure you're following us on all the socials. Make sure you're in the Discord, checking out Danger Close Alpha. And people have been asking about the vest. If you want a vest, you're going to need to buy bullets, beans, or bourbon. They're 0.01 each. Make sure to check those out. You can check out the QR code right there if you're interested in doing that, or just go to dangerclosealpha.com. So I agree with you on most everything that you're talking about. The only thing I don't know that I totally agree on is if it could work. I think the only way that it could really work is if it became, and this is where it's tough. You were talking about basically a popularity contest, what you're talking about,
Yeah.
right? So
Basically.
like Bitcoin, for example, is won a popularity contest. I know it was the first to come of its kind and in the way that it did and whatever, but effectively it's continued to win the popularity contest and it is decentralized. So what needs to happen is whatever it could be needs to have so much hype that, for example, let's say Chat GPT, let's use that as an example. Let's say that was decentralized and it wasn't this, it was AI that was full on open source and anybody, and it got the hype that Chat GPT, has, boom. But I think it's going to take something like that. It's going to take some sort of huge media buzz, and so much so that people have to check it out. Now, where it goes from there and how strong it is, and if it can continue to hold up with that hype, I don't know, but I do totally agree with you on some of the other sentiment. It's a tough thing because people are trying to have the attention. These websites make money off of you being here. We make the little bit of money that we do, which is like nothing right now, off of the amount of views that we have, the amount of impressions, and the length of time that you're watching. Why do they care how long you're watching? Well, let me tell you why. Because there are a little thing called, drum roll please, Crusader?
Analytics.
Well, no, I was actually going to say analytics. I was going to say, like, there's commercials, there's advertisements that are there, and they want you to see that. And the more time you're on there, the more you're going to see the ads. Okay. That was a dramatic pause for the fact that literally had a brain fart and couldn't say advertisements, just to be fully transparent there.
Yes. And another thing about these decentralized things, right, is this application is decentralized, but where is it at? The App Store. The App Store is a centralized location. If the App Store doesn't want your app on it, it gets booted. Boom, it's gone. Where are all your downloads? Nowhere to be found. Nobody's gonna find your application on some bootleg third-party application that nobody has confidence in and trusts. Everybody trusts Google Play and App Store on Apple to download their apps, and that's the only way they do it. So if you get booted from there, which we've seen in the past, applications being booted, they're gone. It's over for them. So there's always that major point of centralization where if things go against the grain too hard, they can get shut down real quick.
Yeah. Hey, thank you very much, Chemo and Crypto. So $4.99 super chat says much love, glad I could be here. And then John Connor coming through again with another €5 says love your show. Thank you very much. And again, we're paying attention to this, John. It's part of the reason why we like to let you know super chats are on, because we have had some suspicions that maybe YouTube's been kind of playing a little bit of games. We don't know exactly what that looks like, but hey, here we are. We're glad to be here. We're going to continue to press on forward. Okay, so check this out. So we ultimately are headed towards a couple things we want to talk about. So stick around. Polygon and the digital ID. We haven't talked about that yet. Mastercard and Visa starting to maybe back out. And then Coinbase in bed with the SEC. So next up, we're going to talk about a little bit of Coinbase, okay? That our quote unquote interests are whoa, hey, there we go. Our interests are, that didn't click over, did it? You can still see what I'm looking at, his bald head right now. Okay. So it says, our interests are aligned with the SEC. Coinbase CEO, exchange executive Brian Armstrong said his firm is interested in bringing digital assets inside the SEC's regulatory perimeter. Well, what a freaking surprise. Okay, let's talk about it. So CEO of Coinbase, which is Brian Armstrong, said that the interests of his company, which is Coinbase, are aligned with the SEC. Okay. The SEC is obviously tasked with supposedly protecting investors in the U.S. Now, Coinbase has maintained a good relationship with a number of staff members and commissioners at the SEC, including Gary Gensler. Lizard Man. Bringing the digital assets industry within the regulatory perimeter of the U.S. is an interest shared by Coinbase and the SEC, according to Brian Armstrong. He wants to preserve that potential innovation, supposedly, that crypto could provide to these financial markets. Now, let's pause there. Why is it so important, Crusader, that Brian Armstrong, no matter what he feels, is at least saying publicly, hey, our interests are aligned, we're good to go, let's talk about it?
Dude, Coinbase has always been on the side of regulation, has always been on the side of the government, right? They are not Binance. They are not going to go against the grain. They're not going to make any moves that are unregulated nor against the grain, right? The minute they stepped out of line just a little bit with the APY products, they came out and said, hey, nothing higher than 4%. They eliminated any APY product that was higher than 4%. Right, so they're not gonna stir up the pot in any kind of way. They want to make sure that they are continues to be the chosen one in the United States as the most trusted exchange, right, from the government, and just work alongside them. They're not ever gonna have the interest of the people, or they're not gonna go and push like, yeah, we want to go for DeFi, yeah, we want to make sure that our customers are getting APY. They're not those people. Right, they are a publicly traded company as well. They have a lot of obligations to play ball, or they will not be around for quite a bit of time. So they're definitely not going to stand up for the average person.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to be the chosen one and continue to be that. Obviously, we've seen regulators look closely at any companies recently that are involved with digital assets, like especially after the FTX collapse, right? Earlier this month, the SEC levied like a $30 million fine against Kraken for failing to register. I think it's like as is staking as a service program as a security. They're basically saying, hey, you're staking as a service program, that's a security. So boom, hit them with a $30 million fine. I do know the only pushback that I have seen and heard has been Coinbase chief legal officer. I think his name's like Paul Grewal, I think is what it is. He's been critical of their approach regarding just digital assets as a whole, and then the products and services that may accompany them. That's where I think it gets interesting too, because you're right. They are offering products and services the same way and similar ways to what a bank is offering. Okay. Here's the problem. The bank money, the US dollar, is not backed by anything, and it's fugazi at this point. Just everybody accepts it as being worth $1. So it's dust in the wind, if you will.
But
right?
Is it even really worth $1?
Exactly.
Is it even really worth the
that's
face
changing.
value printed on the bill?
Yep, and that is absolutely changing every single day as we print more money, as we play with interest rates, as we basically try to, if you didn't know this, the US dollar is a big game of inflation, deflation, and trying to say somewhere in between of basically manipulation of a value. They are trying to manipulate the value to be higher, lower, trying to basically create a stable coin of sorts with your hard earnings, right? Have you noticed how expensive things are right now? Do we think that just like happened? Do we think that all of a sudden all these products are harder to get, that there is just supply chain problems unlike any other? No, when you effectively think about something that's valuable in your life, let's say a diamond ring. What happens if I walk outside my door today and on my way to work, there's 10,000 diamonds every single day just scattered all over the place? Now, all of a sudden, what's got value? Not those diamonds. I'm going to tell you that right now, because you can get them anywhere. It's the same exact idea.
Which is a deep secret already in the diamond industry, that is exactly how it works.
Oh, that they're actually all over the place anyway, and they basically
are all over the
filter
place.
and
They're
pull.
not rare. They're
Not
just
as rare as they say.
they're heavily controlled by I
Yes.
think 3 to 5 companies in the entire world, and they control the outflow of diamonds to the market to make sure that they keep high prices. That's why you never resell a diamond ring for more or equal the amount that you bought.
You're right. The supply and demand is absolutely manipulated across the board. So yes, Coinbase, seems to be the chosen one, but this comes down to what we talk about all the time. They are the ones that are saying, hey, we'll play ball. Yes, Amasa, we'll do what you say. They're willing to be the whipping boy effectively. That's actually what's happening. So they say, hey, I will be that person for you as long as you keep me in the position that I'm asking to be in.
Right.
And why? Money, power. Period. That's what it comes down to all the time. So that's what it is. And when we're talking about money and power, some of the biggest companies in the world, Mastercard and Visa, we're going to get into this in just a second, are very much into and looking into and a part of the crypto space. Okay. Before we do that, smash the like. Takes 2 seconds. X out of the live chat if you're on mobile. Make sure to hit that bell notification so that you know that we are on. Smash the like. and follow us on all our socials. All right, so let's talk about what's going on with Visa and Mastercard. Okay,
Let's
so
get
they
it.
effectively are putting things kind of on hold. It seems Mastercard and Visa set crypto plans on hold amid market decline. Says Reuters. Okay, so let's look at this a little bit farther. Visa and Mastercard, two of the top payment service, effectively, the credit cards in the world. So they put their plans for crypto regulation on hold, supposedly, because of things that have been happening in the cryptocurrency space. I want to know if we think this is a Fugazi story or not. So let's look farther into it. So a spokesperson from Visa that was unnamed said recent high-profile failures in the crypto sector are an important reminder that we have a long way to go before crypto becomes part of the mainstream payments and financial services. They had previously announced plans to use, I think it was called StarkNet, for automatic recurring payments in 2022, while both card payment firms had announced plans to integrate crypto into their network. Now, we just saw something the other day, Crusader, about this, and it was that they were getting more heavily involved. This was what, 3 days ago? Was this Friday? Maybe. I mean, we just talked about Visa and Mastercard.
Yes,
within the last
literally
week,
like within the last week. Yeah.
with an article that was written in a totally different fashion. Is this an article of just, hey, we've got some game plans going on in the background. We want to see if we can buy crypto up a little bit lower. Maybe they know some things you don't. They know prices are going to be down. Maybe they'll kick it while it's down. I think that it has to be, personally.
Yeah, I think it's a big nothing burger. I also believe there's already an article that came out. I kind of skimmed it. There was another article that already came out talking about exactly this. Mastercard once again commenting on this, saying that yeah, it's just pretty much on a small pause for things, but they're still working on moving forward. They're still gonna get into the crypto game. So like they always have this push forward, take a few steps forward, then a few steps back, and people get all panicked, like, oh my God, MasterCard's pulling out of the crypto game, sell, sell, sell. Guys, long term, that's where they're headed, right? They know that there's been cryptocurrency blockchains that have outperformed in transactions and in volume MasterCard and Visa and these credit card companies. They know that they need to get a part of this game, a slice of this cake, all the transactions that are happening on these cryptocurrencies. And they know that if they want to survive, right? If they don't want to end up being the Toys R Us or the Sears of the 90s, right? Or early 2000s getting booted because they didn't pivot onto Web 2 when it came along, they know they're going to get booted if they don't get into the transaction game in cryptocurrencies, right? People are going digital. People aren't carrying cash. People are using Cash App. People are using these other applications that allow you to also use cryptocurrencies, Venmo, all this other stuff, Zelle. They know that they need to get a part of the crypto game. If not, they will once again become the Sears or the Toys R Us in the next couple of years. So there's no doubt in my mind, whatever blockchain it is, whatever cryptocurrency, one way or another, they're going to be in the blockchain game. They're going to be transacting in cryptocurrencies. And it's just got to be. It's just one of those things. If they don't make the pivot, right? We've talked about it before. The great transfer of wealth, right?
Mm-hmm.
This includes corporations, not just individual peoples and their individual money. Corporations need to pivot as well. Just with the .com era, right? We had Amazon, we had all these big companies come, and the companies that didn't take those pivots did not make it. So once again, don't get all caught up on the day-to-day news articles about whether there's pausing, whether they're going forward, they're going back. Long term, there's only one direction, and that's digital, and that's forward.
Yeah, and the only thing that I could possibly see that would dampen kind of their speed to do things, if we were to, so it's debate crypto, right? We want to talk about both sides of it. The only way that I could see the other side of this being where this is a legit article, which I don't, just for clarity's sake, I don't really believe. But if we were to look at the other side, the only thing we could say would be the regulatory environment right now in the crypto space. So the SEC, no matter if you think it's Fugazi, no matter if you think that it is a political play, no matter if you think that it's a financial power, whatever you think is involved here, you probably are getting parts of it correct, but then we'll always miss stuff. So the one thing that we do know, though, is that they have been pushing hard on regulatory environment in crypto. So if Visa and MasterCard, on the flip side, actually don't know, if they don't know what these regulations are going to look like moving forward, that would be the only way that I could possibly see them maybe flip-flopping a little bit. But
But
again, they're at the dinner parties. I'm telling you right now,
I mean,
Visa
even
and
outside
MasterCard
the
are
dinner
at the
parties,
parties.
Mastercard and Visa don't only exist inside the United States; they exist
Mhm.
worldwide, right?
Yeah,
So
that's a good
even
point.
though we don't have clarity here, they have clarity in other governments in other countries, and
That's a
they're
really good
gonna
point.
be participating, right? Just like right now, the United States only allows accredited investors to get involved in an ICO or a token sale or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Internationally, they don't care. They have a regulation and clarity already. Retail investors can get involved. So Mastercard and Visa will still move forward, even if they have to leave the U.S. behind and
That's a good
the
point.
people in the U.S. They're gonna keep moving forward. And somebody here brought that exact comment up. Right, says I think we need to start paying more attention to the rest of the world because the USA is already falling behind because of the clown Gary Gensler and the SEC. No
Yep.
regulations, right? Like you were saying, companies are not going to do it, but they're still going to do it internationally because almost every massive corporation right now has an international entity as well. Right? We saw it with FTX, we see it with Binance, we've seen it with all these other companies. They're going for it, man. Whether the U.S. is going to be a part of it or not, we will see.
Yeah. We'll find out. You're right. I wasn't even taking into account the fact that, which is dumb, the Visa and MasterCard being just absolutely worldwide. Crypto is not going to be shut down worldwide. We may have black swan events. We may have issues. We may have problems. We may have whatever. This digital revolution is going to continue to happen. And trust you, me, and everyone else. Visa and MasterCard are going to be a part of it. So if they're clowning you a little bit right now just to put themselves in a better position, that's just the way sometimes life works. These powerful companies and people do have the ability to FUD you if you're new to crypto, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They're able to toss these ideas into your mind to maybe put you in a precarious situation where you're either more willing to buy or more willing to sell, and they can manipulate you that way. And so Visa, MasterCard would definitely be a part of that.
Dude, Crypto
Now,
Gamers, hold on, give me a sec. Crypto
yeah,
Gamer here is killing it with the comments today, bro. Says, what would happen to the crypto market if all Americans are restricted from buying crypto? Meanwhile, the rest of the world can buy with
yeah,
no restrictions. You know
yeah.
what's gonna happen? We're gonna be the new Africa. We're gonna be the new third world country. We're gonna be the new
Mhm.
Cuba, right? That's what we're gonna be. We're gonna be left behind. We're not going to continue being the number one country, and we're gonna see the difference in these other countries that continued pushing towards innovation. The people in those countries are going to be able to participate and become richer, become wealthier with being an early adopter, and the people in the United States that are left behind along with the country are going to feel the pain.
Mm. That is a fact. Crypto Gamer, keep killing it, brother. We appreciate you for being here. Good to see you as always. All right, so cool. So the last thing that we want to talk about, and a lot of you have been waiting
Polygon?
for this, is Polygon, right? So Polygon and a digital ID. Now, I have questions. We have answers. We're gonna what company is that? You have questions. We have answers. What you know what company that is? Anybody in the chat?
No.
You have questions? We have answers. Somebody tell me in the chat who that is. But in the meantime, let's check this out. Polygon rolls out zero knowledge privacy enhanced. Let me back this out a little bit so we can see. These things right here, this right here,
I
this
hate it.
highlighter
I
thing
hate it.
that I can't get rid of pisses
I hate it.
me off. Okay. Polygon rolls out zero knowledge privacy enhanced identification product. Under the design for Polygon ID, a bar owner could theoretically use the credential verification system to verify a patron is of age without ever having to look at any ID card. Okay. That might sound cool at first, but let's talk about this a little bit. So Polygon launched a Polygon ID product-based zero knowledge technology, ZK, that allows users to verify their identities or credentials without revealing sensitive information. Let me pause. Crusader, tell me kindergarten fashion, what is a zero knowledge proof or ZK roll? Like, what is this zero knowledge technology that they're talking about?
Well, it's a little complicated to explain, but you don't need a lot of knowledge to know.
All right. Moving on from there, we're going to dive back into it. The tool set can be used by developers to unlock features such as an enhanced sign up for user interface, assist in regulatory compliance, help verify users' identities, and restrict access control in certain areas or features via token gating. which we know what token gating is. They're able to basically take the information, the numbers associated with a certain token, and basically, like token gating would be, for example, if your number is 0 through 212, if you're one of those tokens for the bug out bags, guess what? You are going to the event in real life, May 12th through May 14th. If you're 213 to 500, guess what? You've got it virtually. So there's kind of a way that you can understand token gating. So zero knowledge technology, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Is a type of cryptography that eliminates the need for individuals to routinely provide personal information to various websites or online applications. Under there, so the co-founder David Schwartz said, and there's a lot of information here, so we're going to talk about this in a second. I just want to give you the most information I can. Said that providing identity is a way that the average consumer can use the holy grail of digital. It's basically, hey, this is the holy grail of digital ID adoption, is what he's saying. And under their design, a person or entity known as the identity holder has, quote, claims stored in a wallet. They have these verifiable credentials that are cryptographically signed and issued to the identity holder by a trusted issuer. The verifier then checks the proof presented by a holder, allowing the verification without revealing sensitive information. The proofs can be done either off-chain or on-chain via smart contracts. No surprise there. And there's effectively going to be a Polygon wallet app and wallet software development kit, or SDKs, software development kit, available. So, okay, what's the good? What's the bad? What's the ugly? So I walk up to a bar, and I don't want to pull out my ID, and I effectively show them a QR code or whatever, effectively saying, hey, this is who I am. This is how old I am. I have this kind of access. I can do X, Y, and Z. They could probably pin your payments for the evening to it. There's all sorts of things that they could probably do to that. So that's the good. Makes it easy, simple, maybe faster, speed things up. Talk to me about some of the bad things happening here, or that could happen here.
We're movement towards ID, right? We've all talked about the end times. We've all talked about the microchip in the hand, right? Well, it's looking more like you're, instead of getting a microchip, you're gonna get a QR tattoo. That's what it's looking like nowadays, right?
Oh, is this gonna be the mark of the beast?
It's gonna be on the blockchain, bro. Yeah, I mean, this is where we're headed, right? Digital identification at all times, everywhere you go. Everyone is so used to carrying their ID in their wallet, and that's the only way they get identified. And if you don't have an ID on you, they can't identify you. Well, those days are coming to an end, one way or another, through biometrics, all kinds of information and metadata that are being collected from you nowadays. You will eventually have a digital identity, because as well, with these ZK rollups and digital IDs, you're going to eventually become a accredited investor, right? You're going to be able to KYC yourself for these investment vehicles, and that's how they're going to get you involved in these IDs. And they're on the blockchain. They are forever. They will control it, and they will have access to your stuff always. And there's gonna be, it can be privacy, as in they talk about privacy as in like, oh, it's private, you don't have to reveal everything, right? Like how the apps nowadays just consume everything. But that layer of privacy is just a comfort, right? Because it's on the blockchain and they completely have access to all of it. So someone behind the scenes can definitely get full access, and there's going to be no hiding your identification ever, at all times, everywhere you go.
It's
Welcome to
wild,
China,
man. We're stepping into a world that is scary, not private. That, like you said, like there is, quote, what they're saying about their layer of privacy is effectively that, like, Crusader, you and I are walking at the same time. You're not going to see my address. You're not going to see any of my license number. You just know that, hey, he's good to go. I'm good to go. Boom. Okay, cool. But the information for anyone that, I mean, the amount of intelligence and the amount of information that's on the blockchain is a beautiful thing, but because of that, it can go so much further, that it can go so deep into who you are, where you went, how long you were there. There's just so much information that's there. They're using it at airports already. They're using the facial rec. This is all a big process that's moving us towards this. Hey, what it is it's a one world government using digital identification, verification, digital money, digital currency, central bank digital currencies. This is all part of a greater plan. I don't know. It's scary to me because I
I'm
feel like
scared, man. I'm
somebody
scared.
said, Crypto Gamer was asking about like, hey, wasn't there a movie? It's right here. Said,
Yep.
wasn't there a movie with a digital clock in your wrist, but if you ran out of time, then you would die? Yes, that was called Time
In
It was either
time
Time or
with
In
Justin
Time, I think,
Timberlake.
with Justin Timberlake. I actually really liked that movie. Pretty
It's one of
cool
my favorite
idea.
movies.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It really is a good movie. That being said, the idea that effectively listen, whether you read the Bible
Hey,
or
but you're
not,
young forever, right?
whether
Never age.
yes, in that movie sense for sure. But what I'm looking at is if you read the Bible, if you follow anything that is biblical, when it starts to talk about the mark of the beast, and it talks about, there's a whole bunch of different like specifics that come with it, but some of it is that it is brought to us as this gift, that it's going to be, you will not be able to buy, sell, transact without the mark, right? These things, you can call me crazy, but I've been a conspiracy theorist the last few years. And instead of calling me that, you should have just called me right. And now, I know that joke's getting old because a lot of people use it, but it's just a fact. But now we're pushing into this time and age where you are going to need something to be able to transact. You are going to, this is all like prophecy that's starting to come true. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to
It's wild, man.
this
It's
not
wild
happening, but
where
I just
we're
don't
headed.
see us avoiding it. I don't see us avoiding it.
It's wild. I mean, people are not paying attention, and a lot of things are happening very, very drastically. All these things are a lot closer than you think, right? A
Mhm.
decade sounds a long way from now. 7 years sounds like a long time from now, but it's not. Time goes
Dave
by
Digital,
really
this is
quickly.
good. This is good stuff right here. Said, you'll not be tricked into taking the mark of the beast. You will knowingly and willingly, or you won't take it. And I know that, Dave. That's a really good point. I'm glad that you brought that up. We're not going to get all biblical on the stream right now, but the problem, Dave, is that this is going to still be pushed upon
Yep.
people
It's going to be
for
sold as a
convenience.
convenience. Mhm.
Yes, exactly.
Convenience.
You need to be
And
able to
where
do
did
X,
we
Y,
see
and
that
Z.
already? In the
Yep.
last 2 years?
Hmm.
Convenience versus inconvenience.
That's right. That's right. I had to do through a whole process before I went to Brazil and do a whole thing because I decided that I didn't want to do something. Why do they do that? To make it inconvenient. They've already proven all the stuff was fugazi anyway. Now they continue to do it because, maybe if
Yep.
he does it enough times, maybe it's inconvenient for this person enough times, they'll finally roll over and do what I
Yeah,
want
you'll
them to
finally
do.
break, right? You're like, I can't live my life like this, right? A lot of people are like, I still want to travel. I want to go here. I want to go
Yeah.
there. I'm not
Yeah.
going to just give up on my traveling plans because
Facts.
I don't want to do this one thing. I'll just
Facts.
do it, whatever. And
Facts.
that's how they break you. That's how they get you with conveniences, right? Nobody wants any hardship in their life. They want to just live their life peacefully. And that's
Yeah.
how they get you.
Let's before we dive off here, I just want to thank everybody in the chat. We really appreciate you as always. Everybody's been super talkative and engaged. We love having fun in the chat. So each and every one of you, you're part of this show. You're the reason that we do this show. So if you want to get more involved with us in one way or another, the Discord's a great way to do it. We're trying to do some things over there. We've got some moderator stuff that's happening. We've got bullets, beans, and bourbon that are being sold. If you want to check that out, DCA fam, you're going to get a vest every 100 of the bullets, beans, and bourbon that we sell. So we're like 40 or 50 away from the next one. We're giving away a vest. These things are not cheap, and they are real vests, and they have a custom. They have a custom.
They are not costumes.
Yeah, they're not. They work. They'll do what they're supposed to do. So that's that. So Crypto Fam, unless Crusader has anything else, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. We appreciate you for being here. It's Wednesday. You could be anywhere, but you're hanging out with Debate Crypto. So just remember, question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, hodl
like it's hot.
We will see you soon. Love you guys.